This is a block and dial gauge, and it's used to measure the size and squareness of resilient floor tile. The size and squareness are two really important factors in the final appearance of the installed floor. Certainly, the condition and preparation of the subfloor, the skill of the installer, the quality of cut on the edge of the tile are also important factors, but Armstrong can help by delivering tile to the job site that are true and square, and will help to make sure that those tiles line up in nice straight rows and the corners of 4 adjacent tiles come together perfectly. Now, the way the test works, and in this particular case we have a 12-inch reference standard if you're measuring 12-inch tile. You install the reference standard into the block and dial gauge and basically set all of these gauges to 0. When you finish that, you then install the tile, make sure that it's properly seated against the indexing strips, and now you can read all 4 gauges for the tile's deviation from 12 inches. So if the gauges were set at exactly 12 inches and we now put the tile in, we can tell if the tile is slightly more or slightly less than 12 inches in size. We'll get size readings from these 3 gauges. This gauge over here on the corner measures the squareness of the tile. What they'll do then is rotate this tile 3 additional times, making sure again it's properly seated. Our readings actually are fed right into a computer so that we can avoid transcription errors. So what we wind up with after all the rotations are 12 size measurements from these 3 gauges on the top, 6 in the machine direction and 6 in the across machine direction, and 4 squareness measurements, 1 on each of the 4 corners. Now, the tile specification for vinyl composition tile requires a tolerance of plus or minus 16 thousandths of an inch per lineal foot, and squareness measurements that shall not exceed 10 thousandths of an inch. And again, that's really important. Our tile plants operate under very strict size and squareness tolerances. As a matter of fact, all of our tile plants are equipped with devices where they can measure and monitor size and squareness on an ongoing basis, typically every hour throughout every production run. It's worth noting too that a number of the tests that we looked at here today, that equipment, if it pertains, let's say, to vinyl composition tile, is also available in the laboratory at the plant, so we can routinely measure and monitor these qualities, these attributes that are critical to the customer, so that we can consistently deliver a quality product to our customer.